Welcome back here to the Mardyke Arena UCC. Apologies for any technology difficulties there. I'm sure you've all missed the dulcet tones of myself and Andy Gill. But it is heading into quarter three here in the Hula Hoops Under-18 Women's National Cup semi-final, and DCU with a 23-point lead against Portlaoise Panthers. 43-20, Andy, is the current score.
Yeah, it's. I think that DCU were firm favourites at the start. Got off to a fast start and got out in transition, and I think really effectively they did two really good things. Clancy hit a couple of important threes at the start, and then they were able to penetrate and cut at will against the Portlaoise stone. And Portlaoise actually looked a lot better when they went to an aggressive man-to-man, which looks like the way they're set up now. So all Portlaoise can do, throw everything to the wind and just go for it.
Indeed, as Elizabeth Back brings the ball up to Maeve O'Shea. Howard Cassidy calls for the screen, gets it off O'Shea. Pops it back outside to Ali Donoghue with the long shot.
Probably not her strength there. Coach Jack Scully there, not too happy about the quality of that screen.
Travel call there, yep, against Portlaoise's Hannah Collins.
I think Portlaoise, they've definitely got some weapons out there, but they've been very, very impatient to penetrate there, and you're not going to be able to do that against a set defence in a well-drilled outfit like DCU. Really need to show more patience, more ball movement, and especially reverse the ball.
A lovely move there, just didn't drop for Ali Donoghue though.
They've run that a couple of times, very, very effective play, backdoor play there. Now they just need to show some patience, ball movement. See how static Portlaoise is. It's actually quite difficult. They are in man-to-man DCU, but they almost look like they're in a zone.
And Elizabeth Black comes out with the ball there for DCU Mercy. DCU, of course, featuring in 3 semi-finals this weekend. This one here today as Nicole Clancy drives. This one here today, they're featuring later on this evening, as we mentioned, in the Super League Women's Cup semi-final. Portlaoise, that makes it 22-43.
I've been really impressed with Carl's under 16 group and their ability to get the basket. Really, really used the Euro stuff well. We saw that yesterday and today with Lauren Homan, Gillian Wheeler and Shauna Doona.
And just to finish up, the final game is of course the under-20 women's semi-final, where they're going to meet Portlaoise again, and that game is tomorrow. And I'm sure there'll be some tired legs by that stage with a few of these players playing across the 3 teams.
Yeah, they certainly are. I think that's, I mean, Portlaoise work hard. They don't mind 1 or 2 of the other players taking outside shots. Keep the ball away from Brona and Clancy on the perimeter. Maeve O'Shea cutting to the basket.
Wheeler and Dooley trying to link up there, but it just doesn't work for them.
That's been a real trait of Portlaoise's play today. They're really trying to make that difficult inside pass off the cut. Can be a very, very difficult pass to execute.
And Clancy with the shot for DCU. Just runs out of bounds there. But it's interesting to note, Andy, Maeve Phelan hasn't featured for Portlaoise yet.
All I can, I'm absolutely certain she must be carrying an injury. She would be playing 40 minutes.
She's not someone you'd leave on the bench anyway.
No. She's a minimum of a 10-point difference here in the game.
Oh, beautiful move. Maeve O'Shea is having a stormer of a game today.
They really need to find a strategy against that. Looks like a simple pass and cut off a high post screen.
Well, Coach Damien Seeley at DCU, of course, years of experience at this age group and in these cup games, as Ali Donoghue seems to pick up an injury there at the top of the key. She's holding her hand.
Yeah, it's a hard screen from Portlaoise there. Again, Gillian Wheeler showing her ability to get to the basket there.
And Niamh Kenny is going to sub on for Ali. Let's just give her a couple of minutes to catch her breath back.
I mean, Portlaoise have definitely got the ability to get to the basket, but they really, really have to move the ball. Move the defence, reverse the ball.
Nicole Clancy, lovely ball inside Brona Power-Cassidy. And it is 22-47.
Has that in her locker, Brona. Plays like a small forward with the ability to shoot from outside and good footwork inside.
We saw her so much during the summer, her unbelievable defence. As Elizabeth Black sets Niamh Kenny off on the break, she finds Clancy, who's fouled, and will be going to the line for the bonus.
Yeah, DCU have got out in transition there. Really, it's a key for Portlaoise to have a strategy to get back in on your transition defence.
Clancy misses the extra shot, and Power-Cassidy's pulled down to the floor there. But it's gone out for a Portlaoise ball.
What's important for Portlaoise now? They're 27 points down, almost to the point where the game may be lost. They need to work hard, try and execute their stuff. Only midway through the season.
they come on offense again, looking for an option. Gillian Wheeler again working so hard there. Dooley, another standout for Portlaoise today. And just as that shot is missed there by Amy Byrne, unlucky not to see that one go in. It's Nicole Clancy at the end, finds Power Cassidy again with a lovely spin layup.
That's a wise head there against Shauna Dooley there. As soon as she was able to secure a post position inside the charge circle, really there was only going to be one result.
And at the other end, superb hands there to knock that out of play. It is 24-51 here in the Mardyke with 5:49 to go here in quarter 3.
Portlaoise battling away there.
Of course, this is just game 1 of a superb lineup of games here at the Mardyke Arena today, with a number of big games being played across the day. Next up is Women's NICC Meteors and Colester, a big Dublin derby there at 12 o'clock, which will be followed then by the 4 Super League games. Ambassador UCC Glanmire Singleton Super Valley Brunel in the first women's, NUIG Mystics DCU Mercy in the second women's, and then the 2 men's Pat Duffy Cups. We've got Pirable Colester and UCD Marion, followed by hosts UCC Demons against Black Amber Temple Oak. So what a day it's going to be here at the Mardyke, and of course 6 games over in Neptune as well, where they are streaming live on Facebook, as Elizabeth Black extends DCU Mercy's lead 24-53.
Portlaoise played some very good defence there, but an excellent finish there from Elizabeth Black. Gillian Wheeler, she's been able to get to the basket very well, but shooting not a little bit off today. Good inside pass there.
Off, or DCU have a superb defence out in her as well.
Yeah, I think that the tone really is the Portlaoise Panthers offence is probably too static to enable them to break the DCU defence down, and really with all the games coming up for DCU, they've got an opportunity to rotate their bench now.
Indeed, Ali Donoghue checking back into the game, and Ciara Phillips as well. Release from the free throw line, just doesn't have enough legs on it there. Four minutes 50 seconds to go in this third quarter, and the second one is good for Portlaoise. We're down to 25-53, and Elizabeth Black again coming up the court. Joan Black, of course, head coach for Griffith College Swords Thunder women's team, who are making their debut in the Senior Women's National Cup semi-final this evening over in Neptune, where they're going to face a very experienced Father Matthews team in what's set to be a cracking game.
I've seen a lot of penetration move to the basket. Kind of the jump shot off the dribble inside the key seem to be gone out of fashion at the moment, but I think it's something definitely that young players need to have in their armoury.
Oh, Elizabeth Black, great block there, and Phillips picks up the rebound. Not even the rebound, the loose ball. Black again.
That's been prone to a little bit of that. She's not alone actually. Kind of my main bugbear is about the inability of defenders being able to get to the ball due to the offhand of the dribbler being used as a barrier.
Just looking over at May Phelan there, it looks like she's strapping up on her knee there. So hopefully, if it is an injury that she has, we wish her a speedy recovery. And we're back in the hands of Dooley here for Portlaoise. Out to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, ball to the floor, looking for options. Comes off the screen of Dooley and then goes for the shot. Doesn't hit the target though, and needs Kenny Happy to pick that loose ball up. Yeah,
you saw 5 Portlaoise players there standing out on the perimeter, and all DCU are going to give up in those situations are contested long 2s or 3s.
And Kenny on the ball here for DCU, looking for Clancy, finds her, Phillips calling for it inside, gets it, and the shot goes up from Phillips. And a great rebound from Black, who finds Philip once more. Oh,
couldn't convert.
Unlucky there for Phillips. As at the other end, Fitzpatrick drives. Cole Clancy managed to tag Niamh Kenny's roaring for it at the other end of the court. If Elizabeth Black sees her, she doesn't, and was on, and the foul is called.
Yeah, good call there. She defensively, Aaron Fitzpatrick very, very close to her. Very difficult to defend a ball dribbler, being so close.
And Kenny to inbound here for DCU. Gives it in to Ali Donoghue. Kenny to Clancy. Manages to keep a hold of it. But it's Portlaoise, a lovely pass forward, just has a little bit too much on it though. Yeah. Good defense though from Portlaoise. They're giving it their all here, Andy.
Yeah, they're working very, very hard. Probably considered that DCU is starting to rotate. But to be fair to Portlaoise, to DCU, their defence has been of the quality that has not allowed Portlaoise to get very few shots on transition.
Niamh Kenny fancies her chances and goes to the rim. Doesn't make it though, and Portlaoise back on the break. Fitzpatrick. Oh, Clancy sees Kenny. Can she keep it? No, it's just gone out there.
Fitzpatrick is another player who's got the ability to get to the rack, but out in transition there, DCU have been shown themselves to be very, very confident on their level of transition defence. So now we're looking to see if Portlaoise can get some ball movement and player movement.
Ticking towards the 2-minute mark here in quarter 3. And again, DCU come out with the ball. Nicole Clancy. Oh, good hands there from her own Fitzpatrick.
There's just a level of impatience there from Portlaoise there. I mean, that was probably a 5-second offence, one pass inside, and unfortunately a turnover.
Elizabeth Black, she's looking for movement inside, finds Ali Donoghue free. Shot goes up, but Clancy's there for the rebound, and we'll be going for the bonus again.
What DCU are very good at as well within the game, and all these different intangibles. And there's just another example there. Some nice footwork by Clancy enables her to grab the offensive rebound, and now she's at the line for an and one.
And she gets it. And we have a gap here now, 25:56 on the scoreboard, with 2:03 on the clock as Clancy intercepts that pass, drives through and finishes.
Always a dangerous pass, that cross-court pass.
She's very impressive today, Andy, Nicole Clancy.
Yeah, very good athlete. Currently in the under-18, Pat O'Neill's under-18 at national squad.
And she's definitely one of the standouts here in an impressive DCU performance all round, really, as Aaron Fitzpatrick goes for the long shot.
They're kind of they're very deep. Obviously, a lot of players coming from Holy Faith contact, so they've got a lot great relationship between the school and the club there.
And of course, years of experience at Schools Cup, of course, Holy Faith Clontarf. As Ali Donoghue draws the foul under the basket there, and she'll be headed to the free throw line as well. 1:21 on the clock here in quarter 3.
You know, as a young player there, defensively, you just need to stand there, get your hands up in the vertical plane, make the offense shoot over you.
Donoghue's first one comes short off the front of the rim. Portlaoise head coach, of course, Jack Scully, part of their men's Division 1 team, who have been doing extremely well so far this season in their first year in the Basketball Ireland men's Division 1. Fixtures, of course, resuming for the men's Division 1 next week, and regular season fixtures, that is. Fitzpatrick for Portlaoise. Moves it across the key. Screen is used. Oh, the idea was right, but just a bit too crowded in there with Phillips and Ali Donoghue.
The problem is against a well-drilled outfit like DCU, you know, one screen movement, one cut, that's not going to break down the defense.
Fitzpatrick tried to get through it there, and just off the buzzer, it doesn't go in, and it is DCU again on the break. Ali Donoghue slows things down, gives it back to Black, inside to Phillips, who finds Niamh Kenny coming through.
Good cut, just needs to finish.
Oh, Donoghue did well to keep a hold of that ball there.
This layup there from where only Fitzpatrick got to get back. You can see that you've got two Portlaoise players still in the backcourt. Some tired players out there. Shauna Dooley taking the charge.
And Portlaoise, 9 seconds here to go. 25-58 is the score. Can they get one in before the buzzer? Niamh Kenny up the court, and they just run out of time, and it's the end of quarter 3 here at the Mardyke Arena UCC, where DCU Mercy lead 58-25. Some of their teammates, Rachel Housens, Maggie Byrne, Claire Amelia. Who else can I see down there? There's all here watching and cheering on their international teammates.
Yeah, an amazing, absolutely incredible experience the summer was.
Indeed, and we've more of it to come, hopefully, with the women's, senior women are being hosted down here in the Mardyke Arena UCC this coming June 26th, in fact, to July 1st, as the FIBA European Championships for small countries is being hosted here in Cork.
Yeah, that's great for Irish basketball. European competition each year. Is that something that's going to happen every year then, Mary?
You'll have to ask Mr. O'Byrne that now. I'm sure you'll be around to help us out for the few weeks, Andy.
Of course. Cork, my second home.
Indeed, indeed. I'm only saying indeed now to annoy you, by the way. As Portlaoise, second shot is good there for Dooley.
Situations like this for Portlaoise, really, you know, Coach Jack Scully probably asking them just for parity now, just to see if you can go out there and get parity, win the last quarter. Still experience, semi-final of the Cup in a great venue.
Yeah, it's a super experience, and as we said, they've done extremely well to have two teams, under 18 and under 20, so it's just showing the strength and depth in the Midlands club and the work that they are doing down there with their underage. As Ali Donoghue nets for DCU to make it 26-60.
She's got some very, very good positions, yeah. Just Just really needs to work on a finishing then, but was able to finish the little mid-range jump shot there. You can see the just the difference between what is effectively almost a second five from DCU there, because Aroni Fitzpatrick was able to get there on the one pass, whereas just against the top 5 or 6 from DCU players, she wasn't able to do that.
And it's going to be a Portlaoise ball.
Well, actually, for DCU now, there's no need to play any of the players who will feature in the under-20s tomorrow.
Or indeed in the Super League this evening.
Yeah.
Rowan Paracasti sitting down there, Maeve O'Shea as well. Your own Fitzpatrick on the ball, looking for options for Portlaoise, trying to work something. Dooley was calling for it. She's still calling for it. She gets it. And she takes on the drive. Oh, lovely. Finds Shauna Mulhall in space. She just can't make a drop though, but great use of space there by Mulhall. And the long shot in from Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that's one thing noticeable, Portlaoise. I don't think they've hit a three-point shot all day.
And it's back out here to Grania Conway of DCU, who gives it in to Donoghue, who just wasn't able to finish that one. We're still at 28-60 here with 7:48 to play in the quarter. Just a reminder, the next game here in the Mardyke, it is the NICC Women's Hula Hoops Cup semi-final with Meteors and Calester going head-to-head. Calester, of course, also with 3 teams featuring this weekend at NICC, senior men and under 20 women's, that is, under 20 women's. And DCU out to Ali Donoghue. Finds its way across to O'Grady, who drives baseline. Oh, what a lovely finish there.
It's a great finish there from Fiona O'Grady.
28-62 is what the scoreboard in the Mardyke is reading. Dooley inside and the foul is called?
Yeah, reach in there by Donoghue there.
Fitzpatrick. Oh, lovely ball to find Dooley free. Oh, that's a superb move from Portlaoise now, Andy.
Yeah, good ball movement there. So as I said, they're just looking for parity now in this fourth quarter.
30-62 as we tick down. 6:51 on the clock. DCU's Grania Conway finds O'Grady, brings it in a little bit closer, but that one doesn't drop for her, and we're back on the break with Portlaoise's Shauna Mulhall. Oh, what a finish from Mulhall. That was a very difficult shot to make.
Just as I said previously, Portlaoise just able to get to the basket a little bit easier against the second unit of DCU.
32-64 in favour of reigning cup champions DCU Mercy. Donoghue back outside to O'Grady, goes out. It's gone out for a Portlaoise ball.
Pretty secure in the National Cup final statement now that it's going to be a DCU Glanmire final, and I think realistically DCU are probably favourites for that as well.
So as we said last night, Andy, you can never underestimate Glanmire.
No, you can't.
And what a performance last night from Tara Lynch and Annalise Murphy down the stretch in that game. And we are midway here in quarter 4. 34-65 is what's on the scoreboard here as DCU come again.
3.
Donoghue just didn't have enough on that pass to get it through. And Fitzpatrick finishes at the other end, 36-65. Fiona O'Grady sees Ali free inside. Ali tries to go up, but great work there by Jasmine Burke of Portlaoise to prevent that as the long shot comes in from O'Grady, it looks like. Yeah, it is indeed.
Portlaoise ringing the changes there. Well-earned rest for Shauna Dooley and co.
Oh, she nearly lost that one there. She's got it back though, Fitzpatrick, that is. She swings it around the key. Wheeler's calling for it. Shauna Mulhall again, who's been quite impressive since she's come on here for Portlaoise, but it's Grania Conway at the other end for DCU Mercy. 36-67 they lead in this Hula Hoops Under-18 Women's National Cup semi-final.
Some zip and energy gone out of Portlaoise Panthers game with the score. Didn't really work very hard to get back on transition defence there.
Yeah, well, it's been a tough old slog for them here, as Fiona O'Grady's called for 8 seconds there.
You can never fault the generally young players' effort levels. Excellent piece of defence there from Gillian Wheeler to get the 8-second call.
As Ciara Phillips checks back into the game here for DCU. 4:11 on the clock. 4:11, where DCU will be hoping that they will stay on course to meet Glanmire in the final. Oh, great movement there by the ball, by DCU even, with the ball. Fitzpatrick at the other end. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic finish there by Fitzpatrick. O'Grady, the foul is called.
Yeah. Again there, I mean, O'Grady's non-dribbling hand came out there to protect the ball.
It's a DCU ball, and back to O'Grady. She gives it to Kim Clark. Clark keeps a hand in it, and a lovely pass inside to Hickey.
Important for second unit DCU now to play hard. This is where they play hard and execute effectively, where they can earn minutes on the rotation. So they've got a big incentive, DCU, the players on the court now there, work hard and get extra minutes.
Most definitely. As Portlaoise try to set up an offence here. Fitzpatrick again, who has been one of the shining lights here for Portlaoise. Her energy knows no bounds, and she's still giving it her all as we tick just towards the third minute of the fourth quarter. Gillian Wheeler. Good score there inside from Portlaoise. I see the Kalash Creasery Portlaoise head coach in the crowd here, urging on some of his students. DCU have it here, Grania Conway to O'Grady. Lovely bounce pass back to Conway, and it's popped out here to Clark. Doesn't fall for Clark. And Alva Griffin for Portlaoise draws the foul.
I'm glad you pronounced that name there, Mary.
Alva.
Not renowned for my pronunciation of Irish names. I have to Londonify them.
Oh no, I'm not even going to ask you to attempt that one, so we'll just go by her surname for you. First one's good for Alva.
That's it.
And the second one is good as well. 42-67. DCU Mercy lead. Fiona O'Grady up to Conway. Conway taking it on. Finds Phillips. Phillips back to Conway. O'Grady's calling for it, and if she looks inside, she does. Neve Hickey was there. Comes back out to O'Grady, however. Lovely to Phillips, but just doesn't fall.
Yeah, no, it was a nice no-look bounce pass.
It actually was, yeah. I was trying to remember the English for no look. Thanks, Andy.
I don't know what the Irish is.
I just couldn't talk. I couldn't put a sentence together there. So
it's actually something that I've worked on with the international squads about making that no-look bounce pass.
O'Grady again, confident on the ball. Straight up the court, outside to Conway, to Phillips. Into Hickey. O'Grady takes it on now. Oh, and gets her own rebound and finishes at the second time of asking.
Always disappointing for the coach when the shooter actually goes and gets a rebound. You're probably asking, well, who was defending her?
42-69. As DCU come again. 1:09 on the clock. Who have been your standout stars here today, Andy?
Well, obviously, you know, the two internationals, Clancy and Brona Power Cassidy, were very, very good for DCU. And Shauna Dooley, a lot of points for Portlaoise. I think DCU, though, I mean, they pride themselves on their team defence and offensive execution, and we've seen that today. I've always been impressed with both DCU and Holy Faith about their execution on the floor.
Well, there's 40 seconds to go here. It's 42-71 in favour of DCU.
Right, see again, they ran a nice out-bounds play, just couldn't finish at the basket.
Clark there with that shot. Oh, fabulous ball inside, and a great finish there from Portlaoise's Sarah Fleming. 44-71 with 23 seconds on the clock.
I know Portlaoise have played against DCU second five for much of the fourth quarter, but you know, they work very, very hard, and they've stopped the game from getting away from them.
Well, there you go, Wheeler on the drive, and a lovely finish there by Wheeler. We see her do it time and time again. 46-71, and we're down to the last 3 seconds of the game here, where O'Grady's just gonna under pressure from Wheeler. He doesn't want the game to end at this stage. It's 46-71 is what it's finished here in the Hula Hoops Under-18 Women's National Cup semi-final, and it's going to be a DCU Mercy Glanmire final at the National Basketball Arena in Tallaght. Thanks, Andy, for joining us, and to you guys for watching.
Okay, thank you, Mary.